Hello, I'm Jyoti Hosagrahar, Deputy Director of the World Heritage Center at UNESCO. It's my great pleasure to be here with you today. I'm sorry that I cannot be there in person, but I'm happy to be with you via this video message. Let me take a second to share my screen. So I want to be able to talk to you today a little bit about the Culture 2030 indicators, which are the thematic indicators for culture, for measuring culture in the 2030 agenda, measuring culture's role and contribution to the 2030 agenda. The purpose of these indicators is that it is a framework that measures, monitors the at the national level and at the urban level, the role and contribution of culture as a driver and as an enabler for sustainable development. So it looks across, as you know, in the framework of the 2030 agenda and the SDGs, there is only one target for measuring culture, which is 11.4.1. This enables this set of indicators look across the 17 goals and the 169 targets, select those targets where we see culture contributing directly, and develops then complementary indicators to the internationally accepted ones or internationally agreed upon indicators that allow us to get a richer, fuller picture, more nuanced picture of the way culture contributes and supports the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. So as you know, there's a lack of reliable data at the moment on culture in terms of the measurement monitoring processes. Furthermore, culture data tends to be very fragmented in that it is across very many institutions and agencies. And because it's difficult to measure, it gets left out of a lot of funding and investment. It's marginalized in the identified United Nations Development Assistance Frameworks, the UNDAFs, for a lot of development work. And is not seen as a legitimate area of funding very many times. The opportunity that we have through the Culture 2030 indicators is to make culture more visible, to provide a thematic overview, to build messages and promote advocacy, to inform national and local policies and actions, to be able to follow and understand trends and build a knowledge base. We don't have even the baseline data at the moment. So the first time that we implement these indicators, it would be enable us to have that baseline data and to monitor global progress of culture in the SDGs. The impact is that it recognizes and enables enhancing the safeguarding of culture, cultural heritage, and promotion of creative practices in sustainable urban development at the local level. It also recognizes and enables transversal role and contribution of culture in sustainable development, both as a sector of activity in itself and across sectors. So it could be at the urban level, be at the national level. And it also enhances and improves funding opportunities for the culture sector. This is the framework of the Culture 2030 indicators. And as you can see here, there is the link that you can see. So the four key thematic areas that we have, first is environmental resilience. The second is prosperity and livelihoods. The third is knowledge and skills. And the fourth, inclusion and participation. As you can see, this also broadly corresponds with the three main pillars of sustainable development, the social, economic, and environmental pillars. So the first, environmental resilience, is the environmental pillar. prosperity and livelihoods is relates to economic pillar. Inclusion and participation is on the social pillar. And you can see that we have done a mapping of the different targets, and you can see this map in the lower part of this this slide, where the grouping of these selected targets under these different headings enables us to then be able to identify specific indicators for measuring these targets, the different groups of targets. In addition to the three main pillars, we have included knowledge and skills, because so much of what we do with culture, UNESCO in particular, is capacity building. Now, I may recall here that UNESCO, we are the secretariat or the custodians for 6 major culture conventions and 3 recommendations. Now, these also have data reporting that each of the countries do, and that is also, this is a framework that brings together all of these 6 culture conventions and the recommendations. And this has been developed in partnership with the UNESCO Institute of Statistics in Montreal. And as you can see here, there are some indicators which are global statistical indicators, and that is data collected by UIS, including the first one, which is on expenditure on heritage, which is the 11.4.1. And then there is a whole lot of indicators such as sustainable management of heritage, which are more qualitative indicators that are through a variety of checklists, for example. And furthermore, you see that the symbol here indicates all the data points that we believe should have sex disaggregated data, so that we can look at gender equality throughout and have it mainstreamed. And at the bottom, you see that goal 5 and goal 17 are cross-cutting, because we see the gender issue has been addressed throughout. And similarly, capacity building and global partnership, we see as, and the involvement of civil society is something we see throughout, across the entire framework. So with that, I'm just going to wrap up and say thank you very much and wish you an excellent event today. And please do contact us if you have any questions. Thank you very much.